Throughout these lessons, we're going to be always focusing on observing our own child and adjusting whatever we're doing so that it works for our baby and for our families, your family. Also, there are things you're going to be aware of how to set up your environment, simplicity, natural woods, those kinds of things. Also, not too many activities out. However, what we do in the Montessori world is we rotate activities. So I'm going to recommend right off the bat that you start collecting storage baskets, boxes, so that you can put things away and take things out and make little changes in the environment for your baby. We're not going to be putting out, everything from each lesson all at once, 3 or 4 or 5 things at once. Sometimes maybe with the infant, with the first weeks, only maybe the visual mobile, or maybe just a mirror nearby. Also, in the Montessori environment, we're going to be focusing on being on the floor. That's where the baby's going to spend a lot of time, especially in the early years, and then there's the crawling stage and all. And so the first thing that really helps is if you find the space where you're going to set up one of your baby's environments, maybe your sleeping room or the play area, and just lie down on the floor and look up and see what you see. Like, I know in my studio right here, this is my studio space. It's not my home, but I have these glaring lights on the ceiling that I would really not want to have for a true baby environment. So looking around and seeing what adjustments you can make, trying to bring in as much natural lighting as possible for the baby. Montessori even writes that one of the things that she brought into a child's environment, she was of course Catholic growing up in Italy, was stained glass, and how the stained glass in the windows, and how the light coming in through the stained glass window was, an enhancement for the environment, but also a calming kind of thing. And she observed that was something wonderful for a child's environment as well. So you might want to consider things like that in your environment. I highly recommend live plants, so that you can have a nice oxygen exchange, and also the baby can see beautiful plants growing. You might even want to have fresh flowers here and there, small little bouquets, those kinds of things that are basic. You'll be seeing those over and over in the activities. There's also, in the early days, they're going to be using mobiles, and so you'll need to have a way to hang your mobiles or set up a stand of some type, and you'll see in the months ahead how I've done that and suggestions of what you can do, and what my Montessori family, Amanda and her children, what she came up with. Also later, as the baby gets older, you're going to think about perhaps having a table and chair that goes for we call it the weaning table in Montessori, and also low shelving, because we want to display the activities for the children in little baskets on the shelf. And so those are things to think about for the future. Storage is one of the biggest things, though, so we could start by just starting to look around and see where you can collect up some storage containers, and then where you're going to store them. And in each lesson, I'm going to be introducing books that I find have been very helpful to me. Like I said, the past 3 or 4 years, I've just discovered myself the wonderful activities that are available in the Montessori baby environment. So I will be introducing books that I recommend, resource Montessori companies that have materials that will be helpful for you and your baby. And I don't have videos of me with my own grandchildren, unfortunately, but I do have some lovely videos that Amanda has sent me. I hope that you've gotten a chance to join the Facebook group that is set up for this e-course, so that we can chat and dialogue and develop a community online. Generally, my e-courses that I offer, I have participants from all over the world. It's pretty exciting. And this particular e-course is going to span the age of birth to 12 months. So we'll have a variety of families involved in this little community